Hey guys, welcome back to Beyond the Brochure. I am Jared and I am joined by Ian Dawson, and today we're also joined by Andrew Carrico from our Public Policy Department. So Andrew, thank you for joining us today.
Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, so we're excited to have you. First and foremost, tell us a little bit about your role and kind of how you factor into the Public Policy Department and what it's all about.
Yeah, no, I teach in the public policy program here at William Jessup. I teach along with couple of colleagues that I should give a shout out to, Keith Bolte and Phil Escamilla. Phil is the chair of the department. But I'll teach several courses. I work with students. I help them with advising. I help oversee internships, help them with job placement when they get later in their program. So it's a great opportunity to really work with students.
Cool. I love it. I love it. Well, give us an idea of, a few things that set this program apart from others. What preparation, experience, and opportunities is a student going to get in the public policy program?
Yeah, great question. Well, I like to say that the public policy program is theoretically vigorous, but it's very practical and application based.
Cool.
So when I meet with students, I'll often say there's three things that distinguish a public policy student. The first is they're principled. They learn about the principles and foundations of our political system, local, state, federal, but they also, through that process, learn about principles that will guide themselves.
Right.
How they think government should function, how they think it should look, how they can be invested in that process. And so they're principled.
Right.
They're also equipped. Our students are equipped with the skill sets to really engage in the policy arena, to implement policy, to work in the political field. We have students and graduates who are doing that in various ways. And then finally, I would say they're engaged. They're engaged in the world around them, in current events. We think very intentionally about the word public and public policy. We have events on and off campus all the time, events down at the state capitol on a regular basis. And so our students are very engaged in kind of what's happening and thinking about how what they're learning applies to what's actually happening in the world around them. So it's a very, again, I think theoretically vigorous, but very application-based program.
Right. Yeah, I love that. And so, I think one thing that really kind of strikes us is the difference between, this program and other programs, either by the same name or different names. So tell us a little bit, public policy seems fairly overarching. What would be the difference between a public policy degree and a degree in, say, political science or, foreign policy, that type of thing?
Yeah. Well, my PhD's in political science.
Okay.
But I love this program, and I'm very much at home in this program. So I would say that if you're interested in a career in politics or the political field or policy, nonprofits, government relations, any kind of work in the public square generally, this is the program for you. You'll find a combination of traditional political science with the benefit of a practical application of public policy. So it's interdisciplinary in that you get what you would get in a traditional political science program, but with the application aspect of public policy with it.
Gotcha.
So it's interdisciplinary in that way. It's also multidimensional, which is to your point, which means it will serve you in different kinds of career opportunities, and maybe we can talk more about that in a minute. But in our program, you'll take courses that are, that you would come across in a traditional political science program, Intro to American Government, International Relations, Constitutional Law. But you'll also learn about how you write policy, policy analysis, policy research, and how you kind of carry over what you've been learning in some of those more theoretical classes into a kind of practical application component.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so this degree will realistically line you up to be able to go into a master's in, say, whatever it is, foreign policy or, political science, that type of thing.
One of the unique things actually about our program is every student participates in the senior seminar course at the end. And in that class, every student has to write a 30-page paper, which the students, it's a struggle, but they love it. They identify a policy question that they have an interest in that's unresolved in society, and they actually do research and present a policy proposal to address that issue.
Wow.
And this can serve as kind of a springboard into a graduate program if they want. It's great when you go and you interview if you want to work in government or politics. You say, listen, I've done all of this research. I've actually learned how to write policy and have done this massive presentation and paper where I've proposed a policy solution to an existing problem. And so students really love that. And I think, to your point, it can help set them up, I think, in different ways whether it be graduate school or some other
Sure.
career choice that they take moving forward.
Sure.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's really cool. It's a really cool way of setting it up, as in you are really doing something in your class that you can really take and actually apply in the real world, which is really cool.
Yeah, yeah. And throughout that process, usually students will receive feedback from experts in the field that will identify to help provide feedback on that research for them. And just to piggyback off that comment, oftentimes, students in our program will get the opportunity to engage with people in the community who work maybe in politics or policy or for a nonprofit, or they're running for office and they're working or interning for them. And so they get to connect with those people, and we've cultivated relationships all across the region in particular in those kinds of fields, and we do our best to connect students with them so they get to have that kind of exposure as part of their educational experience.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously here at Jessup, internships is a huge thing. And you just touched on that a little bit. What are some internships that students, while they're here at Jessup, may be taking part in?
Yeah, so I went back and looked and jotted down the list just because I think it would be helpful to go through them.
Yeah.
This is just in the last few years. We've had students who have interned for the White House, the U.S. Congress, the state legislature here in California, the Assembly and the Senate, both at the Capitol, which, by the way, of course, we're very close to the Capitol, and we leverage that relationship.
Right.
Of course.
At the Capitol, at local offices in Roseville, local nonprofits. So right across the street from the campus is Child Advocates of Placer County. We had a student intern with them last semester, and it was just a fantastic experience, and the work that she got to do there, helping with foster kids. Placer County Parks and Rec Department. And by the way, I should say we also have a criminal justice program in the public policy department. And so we'll have students we have a student now who's interning with the FBI, students who intern with local police departments.
And the FBI has a field office closer.
That's right.
Or is that redacted information?
No, well, I can't say.
I think if you can look it up on Google Maps, you're good.
Right.
So,
yes.
Yeah. You can tell us, but you have to kill us. So
Yes.
Yeah.
I would never do that.
avoid.
I would never do that. I would also say, the Capitol has a very prestigious Capitol Fellows program.
Okay.
We have a strong track record of our graduates getting accepted into the Capitol Fellows program, which is a one-year program for students who just graduated from college.
Okay.
You work, you get paid, you work for an elected representatives there, and you get credit towards graduate school if you want to do that after.
Oh.
And we've had several students get accepted into that program. We have it's very competitive. And Jessup is very well represented in that program. So lots of different opportunities, internships that can lead to jobs, that can lead to graduate school. And so, I think we're very proud of what we've been able to do in that area.
Yeah. So you mentioned, obviously with Jessup being close to the state capitol, that you guys leverage that relationship. What can students expect as far as that relationship goes that they may experience through their education in public policy that isn't necessarily connected to an internship? Do you guys do anything within the department that is just a kind of overarching of, hey, all of our public policy students are going to go to, see when, they're in session or whatever it is?
Oh, yeah. So every spring we do that. We have what are called Capitol meetings.
Okay.
And we take all of our students who are available and want to go for a full day. We plan it out well ahead of time. This has been an annual thing for many years.
Right.
And so we'll go down on the floor of the Assembly and the Senate. We'll go into committee rooms. We'll meet with elected officials. And so we really try to give them full exposure to the political process, the way it's playing out down at the Capitol. And that's really a great opportunity for students to kind of go from what you've been learning about to actually seeing it.
Right.
And so they really benefit from that. It's one of the highlights of the year for us every year.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's very cool. Yeah.
Yeah. You got anything else?
I do, if you don't.
Go for it.
So one thing that we ask a lot of our guests on here is, your program, obviously you have students that are interested in it. They want to go into that career path.
Yeah.
But we deal with a lot of students who maybe don't know what they want to do. They come into college, they're undecided.
Yeah.
They have 3 or 4 things they maybe want to do.
Yeah.
For public policy in general, what things can a student pick up who's maybe undecided that would make public policy a good option for somebody who just maybe doesn't know what they want to do?
Yeah, well, law and policy touches everything in society. And I often argue that if you want to be a part of a program, you want to be a part of a potential career that has a broad impact on everything that's going on in the world around you.
Right.
Politics and policy is an area where you can do that. You can engage in trying to contribute to the common good into human flourishing, into bettering your society. And you can do that through the laws and policies that have an impact on all of us.
Sure.
And so I would take but I'll take your question in a different direction and also say that in our program, you get really the best of, I think, a liberal arts education. Okay. You're going to learn how to, you're going to get, I'm going to use the word practice, which means
Sure.
we're going to expect that you can write well, that you can speak well, that you can think critically. And I would even take it one step further, that you learn how to make decisions well. And so in our field, you'll take classes like Constitution and Civil Rights or Ethics and Public Policy, and you'll grapple with difficult policy questions and difficult policy issues that you have to face. And you have to learn who are all the stakeholders, what are all the financial implications of this decision, what are all the possible outcomes of this policy decision in this area. And you have to learn how do you make a decision about that contributes really to the common good.
Sure.
And so we're there to help students to learn how to do that. And we think that's beneficial to them in gaining a broad education that will be helpful to them regardless of their career choice down the road.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Awesome. We're almost out of time. One of the questions we always want to ask our guests is, what is your favorite part about Jessup?
Yeah, well, for me, it's one word, and it's relationships. You're known here. Faculty know you, staff know you. I know when you're not in class, and I'll find out why and check on you, and you can come see us.
That's the relationship with the FBI right there.
Yeah.
You'll know where they are.
There's sensors on people. No, I'm just kidding. But you're known, and I benefited from that when I was in college. The relationships I had with faculty, and it's one of the reasons I went into this career, is to be able to work with students and help prepare them, not only for their specific careers, but to prepare them to make a difference in the world.
Yeah,
and that's really what it's about.
Awesome.
Could not agree more.
Great. Yeah. Well, Andrew, thank you so much for coming. We really appreciate it. For all you listeners, again, thank you for listening or watching. Wherever you take in this content, please like, subscribe, share it with your friends that are interested. If you would like to know more about Jessup or public policy, go to our website. The link will be down below, and we'd love to talk to you. Thank you.
Take care, guys.